Hello again, Virgo, and I hope all of you had a wonderful Valentine's Day. So before we begin your reading, I have two cards here for you. Now, because of what you pulled, when it comes to the past of prison from Lay Vampire, I'm going to read all three parts to this card because of what you pulled in Chakra Wisdom, which is recovery. So first from Lay Vampire, we'll read the blessing, the curse, and then working with this card so that you can get the full experience here. The past of prison, bitterness, grudge, and refusal to let go. Now, the blessing here says that you have a chance to free yourself from the sadness and misery of another, and to set a wonderful example of how to live freely without bitterness and regret. Now, the curse here says that your kindness and desire to help may be creating a situation where you are hearing a great deal of negativity. This is having an impact on your energy. Please take steps to remove this influence and listen less. And then working with this card, find those who have suffered and who have moved on, for they are the great hearts, the ones who have the most to teach and who have the greatest souls. For the ones who have not just forgiven, but who have taken their hurt and put it into constructive purpose and helped many others. And the reason why I felt like I needed to read all of that was because of recovery from Chakra Wisdom. This card, the very first quote says, pain from our past unlocks the door of understanding. The inspiration here is that once the key has been used to open the door, you will have a new way of living, one without keys. Where you are heading, there are no locks. The key ideas here are facing fears, wounding is strength, courage to face pain, awakening greatness. This is a time to recover a part of yourself that has been dormant. Now, I feel like looking at the two of them that, when you say, just saying the past of prison, it's like there needs to be a letting go of that pain, because what it's doing, if you don't, is just creating more negative energy in your life. And again, with recovery, it's like, healing that past pain, but you have to let it go. Here's the energy coming through. Wow. Justice. Making amends for past wrongs and having those wrongs amended. Seeing that as a signifier is saying that you're going to have that balance and that fairness back in your life, but you have to let go. You got to let go of that bitterness, because also justice talks about needing to forgive and forget. And if you can't do that, you're going to stay locked in that same pattern of having to deal with that negative energy and feeling like you're desperately needing those keys to unlock that recovery. And you can't do that to yourself. Justice, again, whatever was done to you will be corrected as well. There will be balance, but you got to let go. You got to let go of past pain. And in the past, and there you are. So the Queen of Pentacles, very much, I love this card for Virgo because it so reminds me of who you are. You're so in tune with yourself and your surroundings. You see the beauty that is around you. And, seeing that come through and with recovery, yes, that's exactly where you need to go back to, is back to who you are, being in touch with yourself and with nature and with the beauty that surrounds you. Now, on the other hand, this could be another earth sign coming through, but really, truly, I see this as Virgo. And, it's a good sign when you look at, what you pulled in the oracle. It's like getting back to yourself here and finding that balance. Very nice. Very, very nice. So the Nine of Cups, this is wish fulfillment, indulgence, abundance, emotional fulfillment. There's a little bit of smugness there with, look at what I have, right? But it's good to see that underneath you, And again, with the Queen of Pentacles, it's like being able to work with what you have and enjoying what you have. So justice with what you pulled in the oracle is really good to see. There's going to be balance back in your life and this feeling of emotional fulfillment and wish fulfillment at that. Oh, yeah. So The Ten of Cups, again, the 9 and the 10, they're perfect, and they're perfect together. There's this feeling of hospitality between the both of them, and that very much describes the Queen of Pentacles, which is very much Virgo. You guys are so open to others. Like, yeah, come on in, let me feed you, talk to me about what's going on and stuff, right? The Ten of Cups is like domestic bliss, absolute emotional fulfillment. It's beautiful to see. Wish fulfillment, emotional fulfillment, that's great. And definitely recovery. When you let that go and you remove that negative shit from your life, what comes through is fantastic. Your best path to follow. Now, seeing the Page of Swords as the best path to follow to me is like saying that you need to be brave and you need to be courageous, when it comes to dealing with bitterness and having to deal with, those negative things, especially if you're trying to heal some past pain. Now, usually I see him as like, the messenger of conflict, but truly when you look at it, it's about being inquisitive and, being truthful and being active and courageous. And, with justice, it's like, yeah, having the truth be known and like speaking your truth, especially when it comes to amending wrongs, but it's almost like, as wonderful as all this is, there's a need here to make sure that your truth is known. Like, whatever wrongs are going on, you need to speak up. You need to speak up about it. Let your feelings be known about, situations that have brought that feeling of bitterness to you, so that you can experience that recovery. And in your environment, and I like seeing it, look at the pages, and these are messages coming through too. And when it comes to the Page of Pentacles, to me, it signals, some hard work. But, it's like there's achievement here. You're gonna receive some messages that may have to do with some hard work, but what you're doing is creating emotional fulfillment in your life. And it's like, again, you're willing to do it, working with what you have and creating more of that beauty and that security in your life. I love seeing it. I mean, looking at it this way, it's beautiful. And again, you working with what you have and creating abundance in your life. And this wish fulfillment. And here emotionally, it's like beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And again, with that page, it's like having the backbone to do all that hard work. Like, you're going to be able to do it, which again, very much reminds me of Virgo. I have a lot of Virgo friends. One of my best friends is Virgo, and she busts her ass every day. And definitely, the past, a prison, it no longer needs to be an issue for you. And recovery is definitely coming through. And it's like you're working through it. You're working through it. But you're still going to have that wish fulfillment and emotional fulfillment. Oh, well now. The King of Wands, seeing that in your hopes and your fears, to me, if you're looking at the advice behind the card, this is about you being passionate and driven and seeking new adventures. But the King and the Queen, this may be somebody coming through. So the King of Wands typically is looked at as Sagittarius, but this could represent a fire sign. But more importantly, the description behind him is that he's very passionate, very driven, seeking those new adventures, and people follow him because he shows them the way. And then again, when you look at the past of prison, and it talks about, needing to seek out those people who have been through that, definitely this would be the wise counsel to seek, and showing you how to turn that into something much more beautiful, which I think is exactly what you do here, But I feel like the relationship here between you and this person is emotionally fulfilling. It brings you happiness. And I definitely feel like, this being a person coming through, it's like they're helping you for sure with whatever past issues you may be dealing with, and helping you find that recovery, and turning that bitterness and all that shit into something more positive in your life. Oh, and the outcome, the Seven of Swords, seeing that again, you have to let go. You have to let go. You cannot hang on to that bitterness. If you truly want to move forward here and, experience this emotional fulfillment, you got to let it go. And again, with the Seven of Swords, protecting what is important to you. There's this feeling here of having to leave something behind. And I almost get this feeling like, it's hard for you to do because it's like it's conditioned. It's like this condition that you're so used to of hanging on to that horrible feeling and being locked in it. And you have to get away from that. And if you're seeking somebody who's been through some horrible shit and can help you, definitely this person here is the way to go. But, I feel like they're trying to help you find that recovery, And these pages, you have to speak your truth. Justice is saying that you're going to have balance. You're going to have to work at this, but you can do it. Between these two, absolutely you can do this. You have to leave it behind. You have to let it go. And you're going to have to move on. Again, you're protecting what's important to you, but there's something that's got to be left. It's got to be left behind. Otherwise, you're just going to continue the same pattern of dealing with past pain over and over again. And the whole point of recovery is facing that pain. Wounding is strength. Nothing can be gained by holding on to past disappointments. Well, there you go. You gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. And you gotta let this person come in and help you out when it comes to, turning this into something a little bit more constructive for you. Treasure your loved ones. This is somebody that you love. Definitely love them deeply. And the miracles and blessings, I feel like out of this pain, you're going to experience some blessings in your life. Okay, Virgo. So I like what's happening here. I feel like you're going to have some balance back in your life when it comes to dealing with past pain. I mean, the two together, it's so clear. There is something that, is like gripping you right now. There's this bitterness and there's this like grudge. And the whole point of recovery is to learn how to let go of that and heal that past pain. And I feel like when you talk about the past of prison and having that counsel from those who have been through some horrible shit, yeah, I do feel like somebody is coming through to help you in dealing with it in a constructive way. But you gotta let it go. You have got to let it go. You've got to let go of that past pain. Protect what's important to you, but don't hang on to that. The whole point here is to have that balance back in your life and to speak your truth. And again, with these two, they're perfect together because the Queen knows how to work with what she has. Very much Virgo. And the Page is like having the backbone to do it. You can do this. But you gotta let it go. And I feel like when you do that, you're gonna create this feeling of intense emotional bliss in your life. I mean, between the two, it's beautiful. And I love seeing that this is future conditions. But the outcome is like, to me, it's almost like a warning. You gotta let that stuff go and you gotta move on, and be open to, whatever wise counsel is coming through from this person. Now, if the two of you are in a relationship, yes, you need to love them deeply. This person is sticking with you through some very hurtful past issues here. So definitely you want to love them deeply. And then when it comes to, this being somebody new coming into your life, I feel like there's this feeling of, wanting to have some emotional bliss with this person. And again, which is why treasure your loved ones is coming up. Now, when you look at miracles and blessings and forgiveness, I feel like what happens out of this is that when you're dealing with these past painful issues, there's going to be like this blessing that comes to you. And I feel like it's in the form of a person. I can't help it. Like this person is a blessing in your life, and you need to love them very much. And then, when it comes to forgiveness, I mean, really, you gotta forgive and you gotta let it go. That's the best thing for you to do right now. And then also, be open to speaking your truth and being active in this situation and doing the work that's needed to let those things go.